Hello all. In the common in business scenario, especially in auto components, I have implemented some auto component implementation. There are few cases, for example, the bolt, nut, and the washer. Okay, we do not know the bolt size as well as the nut size as well as the washer size as well, because based on the customer requirement every time you have to be built the bolt, nut, and washer sizes. It's same thing for the furniture also. Sometime the customer will buy one sofa and two pillow, or sometime they will buy two chairs and three pillow, or sometimes they can buy just lunch table with four chairs, or lunch table with six chairs. There are so many variants, and how to deal this one in D365. We have the one of the nice functionality called Product Configurator. In old versions they call it as a product builder, and current version they call it as a product configurator. And since it's going to multiple stages, you have to be define the product configurator. I'm just going to be show the overall process, how to do that in the the process view. For instance, if you want to access the details of the manuals, so you can go and find this is the Microsoft standard user manuals, and this is the flow of the how to do the product configurator. So if you want to do the product configurator, you have to be set the product configurator parameter, and then you have to be create your components, and then attribute types. Why I can say attribute type, in the sense the attribute is the one is going to be drive the product. For example, okay, number of chairs is equal 4, and chair type is a black color or red color. So this is all it's going to be a attribute type. And product configuration model, whether it is a furniture or nut and bolt or so on or whatever could be. And there are so many different options, different stage by stage you can completely build a product configurator. Okay, I just quickly show you the overall process how it is. For example, here there are too many product configurator is already predefined. Let me go for one product configurator, which is high-end speaker. Okay, when I go to the high-end speaker, let me click this one. What it is happening? So it says these are all the different tabs in the product configurator definitions, right? Okay, let's we go through one by one and what it is basically and how it is going to be used. So first I define this is a high-end speaker. So that means if my customer is going to be asking me the speaker, well, and what is the permutation and combinations? So it could be these kind of the permutation and combination: front grill, corner, speaker height, assembly runtime, and there are all the so many combinations the customer will ask. Okay, and based on these combinations I need to give. Some customer may ask this, some customer may not ask this, those kind of these things. So this is my objective. So if I just show you what really how it is going to be work, let us example, I click test. So this is standard functionality. So for example, high-end speaker, well, what are all the things you need? What kind of cabinet finish you want? So click this one: oak or rosewood or white or black, which one you want? Oak. Well, and that means if you select oak, that means we have front grill is available only the black, and if we see in white and metal is not available. And then the speaker height, so which height you want, which inch you want the speaker height, so you have to be decide. So based on these decisions, then you have to be click OK, then system will create that based on this combination bill of material lines, and it asks you to consume those kind of the material. So this is a logic of the product builder. So you need not to predefine this combination of the bill of material every time. You have the moment in the sales order line you select these things. For example, in the sales order line you select the item, and then here you go to the product and supply, click the configure line, and system will open you same kind of informations, and then you can enter whatever that opportunities or customer is requested, select and click OK. System will automatically create bill of material. And then you can see here, there is a, when you click here, you can see there is a sub BOM. Here system will automatically populate what is a relevant BOM, and you can able to build the you can able to create a production work order on the spot itself. So there is no need to predefine bill of material, because we cannot able to predefine what could be the different combination and the sizes. Well, okay. So in order to do this, the first things what you need to do, you have to be define the logic. So that just the name of the product configurator, and then you have to be define the attributes. And every attributes you have, it depends on the attribute types, and we all know that attribute types are defined the integer, boolean, or variable, or fixed. Let us example here the fixed list of the text type of the attributes, and these are all the different attributes. So you can define the difference based on this one. And then the solver name is, technical meaning of by using. So, for example, if attribute is for user friendly, you see there is a gap between this name, but here you should use a continuous. It just solver name is nothing but the attributes, but as per system reading format. Why it is so? It is, they call it as a, some sort of, different language expressions we are going to be defined. What is the language here? If you see that elements of the if you see the process, you can be able to see here they are using optimization modeling language. So because of that, because the product configurator using optimization modeling language, so it's some sort of, ability to define the complex equations. So that is the reason we are using those kind of the systems names. Well, okay. So after once you define this kind of the attributes, for example, if you define any kind of attributes, like for example, now I can define one attributes like this, and attributes like I can predefined one attribute bold size. So for the testing purpose, I show here when I click test, you can able to see the test is coming here. Okay, so so that's the way. So whatever the kind of attributes you feel, and whatever the combination you think, it will be coming here. Okay, then once you define the attribute here, you are able to defining the modifier. So whether it is a hidden or mandatory or read only, those kind of the modifier you have to define. For instance, some modifier may require to define the conditions. For example, here what I'm saying it has to be read only. Then I put the conditions here. So front grill not equal to metal. So this is what they are saying, that special language which is using for this particular model. Okay. Then once I define the attributes, and I can define which one combination may show, which one combination may not be show. For example, if somebody choose that, lunch table, then they cannot select the free pillow. So that means you can say lunch table, then the free pillow will be get it done. So that kind of things you have to define this logic. Okay. Then the next one is constraints. So the constraint is the one you can again define in which item to which item it should not be, it should. So those kind of things you have to be defined. For example, here you see impulse, this is the front grill, that means these two, this should not be happen. So for example, these are all the different, when you click open, you will find list of symbols, and list of attributes, and list of operators. And this is, we have to spend time to read, and you have to be understand how these expressions are working, and how it, in fact, in general, it's all just attribute. You select which attributes to which attributes to talk each other, which attributes and which attributes should not talk each other. So to defining this with all these kind of the rules, whether impulse and or not equal, lesser than, greater than, so these are all the logics you have to define. Okay, so like this you have to define the constraints. So well, we define the attributes, we define the constraints, and then if it is any calculations based on this, any attributes need to do that, you can define the calculations. And then we directly go to the BOM lines. In the BOM lines, you can define, okay, for example, these attributes, because every bill of material should have the lines, right? So every line should have the item number. So all the raw materials item numbers you have to be predefined. You have to be create the items and then connect to this name. So for example, cabinet name, so this is the attribute name, and this is the item number. While doing this, you also define the condition, so which condition it has to be matched. So those kind of things you have to be doing. When you define the bill of material line details, it will be, you can define the logic here. For example, you are saying this is the item, in this item this is a line type, and you say this is a calculation is required, and you just mentioning this is the item for this one. For example, if the user is selecting the cloth grill, then this is the item will system will automatically placed in the BOM line. So that's the way you have to be defined the bill of materials lines. So system will take these kind of the items, these items when the select user select the attributes. If the user select these attributes and these attributes, and system will automatically take the items belongs to that and create the bill of material. So this is the basic overview of the how the product configurator is working, and what is the usage of the product configurator. You can also export the product configurator model, and if you just click export it out, you can find this the logic of the how the product configurator is defined. And it the you can also do the testing before you can use the sales order, how it is going to be work. And this is just basic, but it has a vast functionality to calculate the sales price and delivery date and routing and subcomponents. So many other options are available. You just before get into what is the product configurator, hope it will be give you a basic informations. Hope this will use you for all. Thank you very much.